Our son Dmitry was diagnosed with brain cancer at the age of 16. Everything happened very quickly. He just had headaches for a couple of weeks, and then the biggest nightmare in our lives began when an MRI showed a very large tumor on his cerebellum. He was scheduled to receive surgery at one of the major research pediatric hospitals in the country. And among many papers that we had to sign before the surgery was this consent form asking us to give Dimitri's tumor, which we didn't know whether it was going to be benign or malignant at that time, to do research for the hospital. And it stated very clearly in the agreement that the collected tissue will only be the one that is not needed for his clinical care, and it would only be the leftover tissue. A friend of ours recommended that we use Store My Tumor, and when she spoke to the oncology team and to the surgical team, her comments and her questions were completely disregarded because basically we were led to believe that we would not need the tumor, that everything would be taken care of. And the pathology after the surgery showed that his tumor was indeed malignant, very, very aggressive, and with this type of brain cancer, the chances of survival were very slim. And our son is only in high school. He's a straight-A student with a lot of plans for the future, speaks 4 languages fluently, and wants to work as a defense attorney for an international court in The Hague. So he had a lot of plans for the future, and we started looking all over the world for alternative treatment because currently with the standard of care in the United States, especially for pediatrics, the chances of survival are very slim. When we eventually found a couple of clinics overseas, the first question that we were asked is, where is your tumor tissue? And this is where things got really, really scary because, first of all, we were never given a straight answer by the doctors and by the pathology. My husband had literally broken into the pathology department. And at that point, we found out that from Dimitri's tumor, which was about this big, only about 5% was left, just a small fraction of the tumor. And it took us a long time to figure out whether it was preserved correctly. So eventually, when we shipped tumor overseas for him to get dendritic vaccine, we still at this point not sure how many vaccination courses we would be able to receive from that little tumor that was left at the hospital. We're afraid to ask because it probably wouldn't be enough. We feel that we were completely misguided and misinformed by the hospital in the most difficult time of our lives, where the only thing that really matters for patients is the preservation of their tumor tissue. This is the only hope, regardless of what is offered within the standard care of treatment. That is the only thing that we needed to know. And it's almost criminal that we were not told that right from the start.